no matter what kind of DIY project you're doing, I mean, even simple little things like a pocket pussy, be careful. I blog about sex toys. I blog about sex. I blog about sex toys and sex toys. Hi everybody, it's Edwina, and welcome to another edition of In Bed with Bedbible, where we keep you nice on the streets, but naughty between the sheets. So today we are going to have a DIY video, and we are going to talk about DIY pocket pussies and DIY fleshlights. I'm not going to go through every single step with you here. However, we do have a blog that has every one of these incredible toys that you can make yourself. We have step-by-step instructions with photographs, so then that way, like with a video, you're going to have to pause it, and it just takes a lot longer. So we have that ready for you up on bedbible.com. If you want to see what all the cool pocket pussies and fleshlights we've done first, decide which one you want, and then hop on over to bedbible.com and you can find out how to make it yourself. I know that there are blog upon blog upon blog out there that has the DIY pocket pussies, and a lot of these are the same ones that I made. But what I tried to do is make it a little bit more comfortable, add a little bit of more functionality. So some of them I put my little twist on, and then of course I came up with 5 different pocket pussies and fleshlights that are exclusively Bedbibles, which everybody can share, and you can learn how to make them on your own. First of all, just some things that you might want to have around the house are socks, duct tape, hair ties and rubber bands, sponges. I got latex gloves if you're allergic to latex. There are like nitrite gloves that are stretchy. You just got to make sure they're stretchy. So they can fit over top of these. Other things that you can use that you have around the house, like Pringles cans, Lay's stack cans. I am going to show you one of our exclusive ones that uses that will actually squirt when you use it. The one thing that I wanted to talk to you about is no matter what kind of DIY project you're doing, I mean, even simple little things like a pocket pussy, be careful. Now, as I was going to say, one of the most famous ones is called the FIFI, and they're really easy to make, and basically it is I call them a hand towel or a dish towel, so a small towel. You need 3 gloves, and then a rubber band, and it's easy peasy. You just fill up the gloves, you tie them off, you put one glove in between the other 2 gloves. I put mine fingers up because if you put them fingers up, you get a different sensation because of the fingers being, not completely one part together, and you're not going to run into the knot that you tied. So I did that, and I also, instead of folding the towel, I laid the towel flat, I put everything on it, and then I folded the bottom up over everything before I rolled it. That way everything kind of holds together, and you can see you've got your little DIY pocket pussy that's nice and squishy, and it's kind of cool. So if I was a guy, I'd put my dick in there. Let's see. Another very, very popular one is the Pringles can. And you can find this one all over the place online. There are videos and whatnot. And basically what it is you take a Pringles can and you line it with sponges. And I found these little cellulose sponges at the Dollar Tree. I don't know if you have those in your area, but everything's $1. And I could get a 2-pack of these for $1. So I got a bunch of them to line the inside of the can. And then what I did to change it is, instead of cutting up a sponge to put around the top, I just took a sponge, I cut it in the middle. But you do that, and then you push your little glove down in there, and then you put it over, you hold it with a rubber band, and voila. When you're done, all you do is you take the glove and you pull it off and you throw it away, and then you get a clean one. So you can use it over and over and over again. Secondly, another thing that I did that is a little bit different, and you can see this on the website, and I made it regularly, and then I thought, well, I wonder if there's some way I could put some, I don't know, a little bit of texture in there to make it feel a little bit more interesting. So what I did is these little beads. I don't know if you can see them. They're just little strands of beads. I got a 10 pack of these at the Dollar Tree for $1. And what I did is I lined the inside of the can alongside the sponges and then brought them over the top and then secured them with a rubber band. That way, when you're using it, you're feeling these nice little round, smooth bumps inside. So that's how you make a Pringles can pocket pussy and make it a little bit more interesting with the beads if that's what you like. Another super duper easy one that a lot of guys make, simply because it's a pocket pussy you can make with what you already have, and you can completely take it apart and nobody will ever know. Now, this one, there are 2 different methods of using socks. I have both of them on the website. This is the easiest one. Basically, you just roll your socks like you do, like a lot of people do. I don't know. Some people fold them, which I think is kind of weird, but I roll them. And basically, you just roll the sock. You put your glove down inside, and then you just hold it on with a rubber band. Another couple ways you can do this is what I've done is I put in one sock inside of the other to make it thicker, and then rolled it. You can do that with several socks, or maybe hunting socks or boot socks, really thicker socks. And you can also add some texture just by maybe putting some different sized hair ties or ponytail holders, or even just putting rubber bands in different places, which will give you more of a hugging sensation as you go through. This one is easy peasy if you don't want to get caught with one, because when you're done, you take out your glove, which has your love juice in it, and you throw it away. You take the rubber band, put it back where you got it. You take your socks, put them back in the drawer, because they're still clean. No crusty socks. So, like I said, buying a box of these gloves, which the box that I bought has 100 in them. They're size extra large, and I paid $10 for them on Amazon. Another one that I found interesting and fun is the Nerf football. Now, I went to the Dollar Tree, and they have the same type of footballs, maybe not as high a quality, but it was only $1. So for a pocket pussy, this is a really good one to do because it only costs $1. And you basically just cut one end of it off. You go in and you hollow it out to make yourself a nice little hole. And like I said, you take one of these gloves. Let me get one. And you just take it and you poke it down in there like this. And, oops, got one of the fingers. And then you kind of stretch it around so you can hold on to it. There we go. Because it won't really hold onto, I don't know, maybe you could use maybe a piece or 2 of duct tape to hold it in place if you want, or you can just hold it as you're using it. But as you can see, this gives you a nice hole that's textured, and you just lube up. You use your football, you take out your glove, toss it in the trash, and you can just take this and sit it up in your closet or on a shelf, and because it sits flat, so nobody will ever know you're using this little football as a pocket pussy. Another one that I think it works, it's unique, but it might be a little weird for some people. So I suggested that you find a stuffed animal that more suits your personality, say like a dinosaur or maybe even a stuffed snake. You could easily take this and set it up on your shelf or in your closet and say a girlfriend got it for you and you just never thrown it away. And what you do with these is you turn them over to their back side and you cut a little hole along the seam. Usually you can just, take the scissors and snip and then rip. And so you pull it open, you make yourself a nice cozy little spot in there. And then again, you take the glove, you shove the glove in the hole, And I'm telling you, depending on the shape of the stuffed animal that you buy, like a snake or something like that, the glove will fit right over it nicely. This is another one that you're going to have to hold into place. And there you go. So you do your nice, warm, little squishy stuffed animal. One of the tips I have that you don't often find is ways to warm it up. If you have a electric blanket or a heating pad, you can put it on, lay it over the stuffed animal for about 30 minutes or so it'll be nice and warm and cozy when you use it. And when you're finished, you just pull out the glove, you throw it away, and you take your little stuffed animal and you just put it back in your closet or up on your shelf, and no one will be the wiser. Another pretty popular pocket pussy is the one that is made out of a sports cup. This one, by the way, when you go to the blog to see how to make these, there is a link to a video of somebody making this, and it is the most hilarious thing I have ever seen. So go check it out. It's funny. This one I call the Candy Cup because you actually use candy to create texture. And what I used is a nice little sports cup. You can get one that's more narrow or whatever is best for you. Basically, it takes a dish towel, a glove, a rubber band, and some of your favorite candy. This one smells like strawberries. I used, they're like Twizzlers, but they're called cherry vines or strawberry vines. And what you do is you lay out your towel, you fold it in half, you lay your glove in there with the opening part about 3 inches or so up off the top, and then next to it I laid my vines. Now they're not just the regular soft vines, they actually have some texture to them. So you lay them next to it, and then you roll everything up, leaving enough room for your penis, and you roll it up, you put it down in a glove, you put it down in your cup, and then you take the rubber glove, and this is what I like about these gloves. They stretch really well, and you just stretch it over the side of the cup, and if it doesn't hold, you just take and put a rubber band there, and there you have it. And when you stick your fingers in there, you can actually feel those vines. So it's got a really nice texture to it, and it's nice and soft and squishy around. And when you're done, of course, all you do is you take out your glove and throw it away and get it set for the next time, or unravel it and eat it. So you got a little snack after you masturbate. Awesome. Another fun one to make is this one. This one, I can't even remember what I call this one. This one's like a warm, soft, comfy one that you make with fiber fill, or if you have a pillow or stuffed animal or something that's got a hole in it and you're getting ready to throw it away, grab some of the stuffing out of it. For this one, I used a drink bottle that had like juice in it, and I cut the top off, and what you do is you fill it with that either fiber fill or the little chunks of sponge, whatever is inside of your pillow, or you can go out and buy a small bag of fiber fill for just a couple of bucks, and you put it down into the bottle, and you push it down in there, get it nice and squishy and tight, and then you kind of form a little hole in the middle. And what I did is I did my little sponge trick, so you don't have to worry about the edge being rough or anything like that. Like I said, take a sponge, cut a slit in the top, you stretch it over top of the bottle, and this one I secured with duct tape. So it stays nice, and it doesn't fall apart or anything like that. And you have a nice, warm, squishy pocket pussy. Now, this is another one that you could take and lay a heating pad over top of to warm it up before you use it. And when you're done, like I said, you just take your glove, you pull it out, you throw it away, and you use this one over and over and over. That's why I did this with the sponges and the gloves, because I thought, why go through the trouble of making a pocket pussy if you're just going to use it once and throw it away? So with the glove and the sponge makes it a pocket pussy that you can use over and over and over again. Now, we all have been doing a lot of online shopping since the pandemic, and I'm sorry, I don't go out too much anymore, even though I am vaccinated and I still wear masks and stuff like that. I am high risk, so I have really fallen into this habit of ordering a lot of stuff online. So I get a lot of boxes. Our pets get things from Chewy, so we always have boxes, and we get all kinds of bubble wrap and stuff like that. So that being said, instead of that bubble wrap ending up in a landfill, why not use it to make yourself a nice pillowy pocket pussy? If you don't have any packages laying around with bubble wrap, I say you can just go out to any place that has like an office department or even a store that carries office supplies, and you can buy a roll of a bubble wrap. Different sizes. You can get the small bubbles or the large bubbles or however. So basically with this one, all I did was roll up the bubble wrap and left enough room to make sure you can get your penis in there. And then I just stuck what I did that was different is I covered it with a towel, so that way when you get lube on your hands, it's not going to be all slippery. You'll be able to hold on to it. And then I just put a glove down in there, and I stretched it over the top, and it holds really well. I put a couple of rubber bands to hold the towel on, and here you go. It's nice, it's soft, it's squishy, and it'll give you a different feel. This one is one that I have seen on a couple of the blogs, not too many. And this one I really, I jacked this one up big time. So basically you use a pool noodle. So yeah, go grab one of yours out of the kids' pool, and what you do is you basically cut it down to the size you want. You slice it so you can get to the interior of it, so that way you can hollow it out a bit, because they are kind of small. They have a very small hole in it. So you want to make some room. The cool thing about it is when you're in there with a knife or scissors and you're kind of chiseling it out, it makes a natural texture on the inside. So you can leave it that way and use a glove to use it over and over. Just make sure you put rubber bands around it, because since it is sliced open, it's going to kind of be a one size fits all. So it will kind of open as you use it. So you just put some rubber bands on it, and that kind of holds it together. The reason this one has a washcloth on it is because what I did, and you'll see this on the website, is I took a couple of those strands of beads I was telling you about, and I cut them so they were just a long strand instead of a necklace. And I got my hot glue gun out. The cool thing about it is when you start putting hot glue on anything like this type of foam, it's going to melt. So what I did is, as I melted, I put the beads in there, and they kind of formed like the hot glue formed this little melty pocket. So it just holds the beads in. So you're not getting the whole bead, but you're getting a nice little bump. And I did all kinds of crazy patterns and everything on the inside of it. Of course, I let it cool. Then I put the washcloth on it. So then that way you're not getting right up against the beads. You have a little bit of cushion in between. And then, I kind of tucked it in, because that's going to be the part that your penis is going to hit. And I put the rubber bands around it. I put the glove down in there and held it with a rubber band, and there you go. Like I said, you don't have to put the beads in there if you don't want to use a glue gun or anything like that. Like I said, when you're cutting it on the inside so you fit, it automatically makes nice texture for you. Now, this one boggled my mind when I saw it on dozens of blogs. It's called a party balloon pocket pussy. And what they did is they used like a round bowl or a container, and they blew up balloons and put them in there. Now, I don't know about you. I don't have a penis, but I think the last thing I would want is a balloon popping on an erect penis. That would have to hurt. That would totally have to hurt. So what I did is I changed it up a little bit, and I made a different party balloon pocket pussy. So what I did is I found this nice plastic storage container. And it is big, but I like it because it has a lid. And instead of blowing the balloons up, what I did is I filled them with a little bit of water, as you can see. So these party balloons aren't quite like water balloons in that they're much thicker. So they're going to hold the water for much longer, and they're not going to pop. And then what I did is I pushed a glove down in there, and I stretched it over the top. So now you're going to get this odd, really kind of cool and squishy feel with the water balloons. And you don't have to worry about it being filled with air and popping and snapping on you. If these pop, it's going to be a gentle pop, and all you're going to feel is kind of a sensation of wetness. So this one is easy to make. I mean, you just fill up the balloons, I'd say about 1/8 to 1/4 of the way, and just make them different sizes and just put them in there, but make sure you kind of squish them against the side so you will have an entry. And there you go. There's the new take, the Bedbible take on the party balloon pocket pussy. Of course, as with any DIY, and you will find, let me see, I have done DIY penis pumps, which I created on my own, which are pretty cool. And I have done DIY anal toys. So you can find those on our website, and those I did on my own. I like inventing things, and my boss likes to throw these at me because he knows I like creating these cool things. So I created some of these of our own, and these are Bedbibles. So, sure, I don't care. Share our blog. Let everybody see how to make these because they're a lot of fun. I call this one the Cherry Pop. So this one, obviously, I used another drink bottle and some sponges. I also used some bubble wrap with the small little tiny bubbles on them. And so what I did is I lined the bottle with sponge. I put a little bit on the bottom because this bottle just happens to have something that kind of sticks up. So I would hate to have that poking the end of your penis. So easy peasy. So then what I did is I took the bubble wrap and I rolled it inside out. So the bubbles are on the inside, and I lined this with it. So with the sponges and the bubble wrap and some nice hard banging, you might be able to pop the cherry. So yes, those little bubbles might pop around you, but considering you have your little glove around there, it's not going to be direct. Also, I made a sponge to go around the top like I always do. And there you go. You have a nice little pocket pussy that snap, crackles, and pops when you use it. It's nice and tight. Just put a little lube down in your glove and go to town. This one I call the Wet n Wild. Now, instead of a Pringles can, now when I was at the Dollar Tree and doing my shopping, I looked at this and I'm like, wait a minute. These Lay stack cans are plastic. Ooh. So I got thinking in my mind, and I was thinking about the party balloon one, which I was going to change and use water balloon or use water in the balloons. And I thought, what about water balloons themselves? Because you know how easy they pop. So how about a DIY fleshlight that squirts? Yeah. The cool thing about the Lay stack cans is they do give. So you are able to kind of squeeze this around yourself as you use it. And there are some really nice little ridges on the inside. So what I did for our Wet n Wild DIY fleshlight is I got a $1 package of water balloons that actually have the little filler thing that you put on your spigot. It actually worked on my bathroom sink, so it was really easy. And I didn't fill those water balloons up really tight. What I did is I filled them maybe halfway to 3/4. You want to make sure they will fit in here side by side. And so I did that. I put the water balloons in here, and then I did the trick with the sponge over the top. That way, again, you put your, actually, I did this one a little different. I lined this one with a plastic bag because I wanted you to be able to rinse the balloons off without having to use the entire thing. So what I did is I lined it with a plastic bag first. Then I put the balloons in, and I pulled the plastic bag through the sponge and just fastened it with a rubber band. So then that way when you're finished, you remove your sponge, you just take the entire bag, and if your balloons haven't popped, you just rinse them off and put it all back in. The cool thing is as you're using this, eventually you are going to pop one of these babies. So it is going to squirt, and you're going to have this delightful wet feeling around your penis as you're using it. So depending on how rough you are, it might happen the first time. It might happen the third time. But either way, you're going to make her squirt eventually. And like I said, the water balloons were $1 for an entire package. So you can use this over and over and over again. And like I said, just pull the entire plastic bag out, rinse it around, dump it out, put it back in here. There you go. Another one that I made that is interesting, using a Lay's Stacks can and items that I found at the Dollar Tree. Again, these are insoles. Have you ever seen the gel insoles that you get to put like in your work shoes and stuff? They're kind of jelly and they're squishy and they have this really cool texture to them. So what I did is I grabbed a Lay's Stack can. I got a set of, I believe these are men's, and you probably need 2 packs, so that'd be $2. So what I did, and again, I want to remind you that there is texture on the inside of these cans, plus you can squeeze them and give yourself a little bit of a tighter solo session. So what I did is I put the insoles in here with the gel sides sticking up. And I put one on one side and one on the other. And after I lined it with 2 sponges on each side. So that way it'll be nice and tight. And I pulled them over, and as you can see, I secured them down with duct tape. So it looks like some really big lips. It really does. So you can either look at the lips that way, or you can look at the lips this way. No matter whether you're doing, hey, I feel like a blowjob tonight, I'm going to use it this way. No, I feel like a little bit of pussy tonight, so I'm going to use it this way. But anyway, it is nice and soft, and it's got some great texture to it. So you just put your glove down inside, pull it over, put a little lube down in there, and you go to town. This one is one that I did a whole new take on, so I'm going to take total credit for this one. I saw someone saying that you could use these things that are called floral beads. They're floral beads, and they have them in what they call gel beads in like different shapes and sizes and colors that are like textile things for children who are on the spectrum. So you can find them in all different colors and sizes. I just went ahead and got regular floral beads, and they are little teeny tiny little things. They look like little pieces of glitter almost. You add water to them, you let them sit. They say 4 to 6 hours. I let mine, I'm being attacked by pocket pussies here. I let mine sit overnight. And so they get nice and hydrated, and they make these nice little squishy, bumpy little beads. I found this pretty fantastic water bottle at the Dollar Tree for $1. And I like it because you could just take this and sit it anywhere and nobody would know that this is your pocket pussy. And I liked it because I can just take and attach my sponge to it. So I'm going to show you these though. These are cool. I love working with these because they're nice and cold and squishy and bouncy and slimy. Oops. And this actual fleshlight that I made has been like this for 3 to 4 weeks now. And these beads have not dried out at all. So that's why I like this, because you keep your lid on it, they're going to stay nice and wet. So what I did is after I soaked them overnight, I took them and I put them in here. You want to leave a little bit of space so that way there's plenty of room for your penis to go in there. So I'm going to put the lid on. I have taken my sponge, as I said before, and I cut a slit in it. And then all you do is you put your sponge over top. You use a rubber band to hold it in place. like so. Wet this down and lube it up and use it this way. Oops. That's why I said you need to lube it up or it will pop off. And then all you have to do when you're finished is you take the beads, you put them in a colander, and you rinse them with nice warm water to get all of your love stuff off of it. Or you can, like I said before, you can take your glove, and what you do is you take all your fingers and your thumb and you place it down into the slit, and then you take and stretch this down over your sponge like so. This will also help keep your sponge in place if you're worried about the rubber band snapping. And you have a nice way to enter your pocket pussy, and it feels pretty amazing. And like I said, you don't have to worry about rinsing if you use the glove. You just pull it out, throw it away, and get another one. A really cool way to warm this up before you use it is just run some hot water over the beads in a colander, or take the entire bottle and just soak it in a sink pot water for maybe 20-30 minutes. And this is going to warm all the beads up. Some are going to stay cold, some of them are going to stay warm, so you're going to get a really, really cool sensation. This one actually is one of my favorites because it feels so cool in here, and these beads do not pop. So I love this one. This one's my favorite. If you make this one and you enjoy it, let me know. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll throw this out. We take our sponge, put our cap back on, take the sponge, your rubber band, and you just boom. So now you just keep everything together. You can just put it wherever, and I don't think anybody would look at this and say, "Oh, you've been masturbating with that, haven't you?" Nobody would ever know, to be honest. Nobody will ever know. Last, but certainly not least, I wanted to do something a little different. I was trying to think how we could make a DIY fleshlight that had that fleshy feel to it. And aside from going out and getting a kit to make a silicone mold, which you can do, so you can literally go and make a silicone mold to put inside of your cup and make a pocket pussy. But I wanted something quick, easy, inexpensive. So if any of you are parents or you have nieces and nephews, you know that slime is a very fun thing to make. You just need glue, a little bit of baking soda, and contact lens solution. Who knew? I've never made it before, and it was really easy to do. And so what I did is I got this. This is one of those drink containers that has a little ball in it, so you can make your protein shakes. This one was really good. You can use, like any of the cups and such that I've showed you that we've used, you can use that to put your mixture in. And of course, I have my glove at the side. Now, I made this about a week and a half ago, and it's still good. So what I did is I made a batch, and again, I've got the recipe on the site, shows you exactly how to make it step by step with pictures. And as you can see, I made this a little thicker than the average slime, because the average slime just kind of oozes between your fingers, and that's not going to give you any type of a fleshy feel, but this does. So the good thing about this is you can add things to it to give it texture. What I did is I got a little package of little plastic beads, Dollar Tree for $1, and I mixed them in there, so it's going to give you texture. Or if you just want it soft, you can do it that way. Now, the cool part about this is you can shape it into anything you want, and you can use it as a masturbating sleeve. Just wrap it around, stick your penis through there. Or as I showed on the website, you take and divide it into 2 pieces, and you form it around the inside of the cup right before you use it. And what I did was, I made another, since this was a bigger one, I actually used the end of a car wash sponge, and you put that over top of it with your rubber band, and then your glove down in there. So that way you don't have to worry about washing this. But the cool thing about making this mixture is they say if you want it to be shiny, you just add some baby oil. So if you don't have lube around, you can actually use baby oil instead of lube. And all it's going to do is, when you're done, it just mixes in and it makes your mixture a little bit more shiny. You put it back in your cup when you're done, or you leave it in your cup when you're done. You put your lid back on. And this should last a couple of weeks. I got a cup with a lid that's airtight, so that way it'll probably last longer. This, like I said, has been about a week and a half, and you can still see it's very pliable. And so you can build a pocket pussy with it. You can build like a stroker mat with it. You can just have all kinds of fun with it. And if you're not crafty, like I said, anybody can make a football pussy or a sock pussy. If you're a little bit more talented, then I say, go for it with a hot glue gun. So you can make these. A lot of them, like I said, you can take apart and no one will know. A lot of them, like this one, you can leave sitting out and nobody will know. So that way, if you're not comfortable going and shopping for one, a lot of people don't want to go into sex toy shops, and that's good. A lot of people just want to use what they have on hand. It's like, damn it, I wish I had a pocket pussy. Make one. If you don't want to take the time to do this, which I think it's fun, because if you look at all of these that I have around here, you have got so many different textures and feel, and just if you bought this many fleshlights or pocket pussies, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars here. But this way you get them for literally a few bucks a piece, if not free, depending on what you have around the house. So you get all of these textures. So if you're not worried about anybody finding them, I say find a big box and just start filling them with homemade pocket pussies. And the way I've made them, you can use them over and over and over again, so they're not disposable. You don't have to throw them away. But if you are just not one of these crafty people, you can always jump online and you can buy yourself a pocket pussy. I decided, instead of getting a full-on fleshlight, which they are quite expensive, they usually run right around $80, and then you can get the different sleeves to go inside for a little bit cheaper. But this one I like. This is the Quick Shot Vantage, and if you look on our site, you will see I will do a full review for you. This one I do believe was like $50. And this one, instead of being like a full-on fleshlight, it's compact, it's small, it's a little less revealing because it actually does not look like a vagina. And you just take the ends off, the caps off of the end. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. And this one you can completely see through. So it's open on both ends and is textured on the inside. But it's nice, it's quick, it's easy to clean. You don't have to worry about turning them inside out or anything like that. So just if you want to spend a little bit of money on yourself, but you don't want to go full-on fleshlight, get the Quick Shot Vantage. You can get all kinds of accessories to go with this too, including the fleshlight launch that is specifically for the Quick Shot, that you put your Quick Shot in there, you lock it in, and you program what you want, and all you do is hold on, and it does all the work for you. Go to our website at bedbible.com, click on the blog link, scroll down, you'll find our DIY blog, and you'll find pictures and instructions for each and every one of these pocket pussies. Easy to do, They cost very little, if not nothing, depending on what you have in the house. And a lot of them are discreet. You can take them apart and you don't have to worry about being found out. Or you can just take them and put them in your closet, especially one like this one or this one. And nobody will even know you have a pocket pussy in your house. The link to the blog is down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we put out all kinds of reviews and fun videos and DIYs. You can follow us on Twitter at Bedbible. You can also find us on Instagram at Bedbible as well. And we are on Facebook too. So follow us, watch our videos, and go to your favorite podcast provider and you will find the Bedbible podcast too, which I talk about all kinds of things. You're going to be surprised because you never know what I'm going to talk about. So, thank you for joining us, and have fun making your DIY pocket pussy. Get on the website, tell me about it. We love to get word back from our viewers and our readers. So, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.